Hey guys, Fantastic Mr. S again, and you're watching Dangerously Rockin' Reviews! I'm guessing most of you are familiar with bands like the White Stripes, and Wolfmother, and Queens of the Stone Age, and the Black Keys. The Black Keys. Well, all of these bands come from an early, late 2000s movement called Garage Rock Revival. This is where, despite coming out of an era where rap and electropop are currently ruling and plaguing the music world, bands are trying to revive the classic rock sound from the late 60s, early 70s. It's like grunge, only their sound is much closer to those decades. And while some of these bands, like the White Stripes and Queens of the Stone Age, have successfully managed to capture the essence of classic rock, other bands, like the Black Keys, have... well, let's just talk about Gold on the Ceiling, shall we? Yeah, I had mixed feelings about this song when it first came on the radio, and I still have mixed feelings about it now. For starters, I'm not a fan of Dan Auerbach, whatever. I'm just gonna call him Dan A. So yeah, I'm not sold on Dan A's fuzzy guitar sound. I don't know, it just doesn't sound right to me. It feels more like a weird synthesizer sound than it does an electric guitar. And I've told you my thoughts about overusing electronic assets. I don't need to tell you that again. But for someone who's trying to sound old school, it doesn't really come off that way to me. I may be a firm believer in originality and creativity, but that doesn't always result in payoff. And that fuzzy guitar sound really doesn't do anything for me. Having said that, I think he's a decent guitar player. But what about his singing? Well... my God, that's gotta be the most monotonous mumbling I've ever heard. I mean, Bob Dylan didn't mumble this much. Also, the female background singers, totally unnecessary here. Or any of the Black Keys' material for that matter. Granted, there are times when having female backup singers can work. Especially if you want to give your song that heavenly gospel effect. Like in the Guns N' Roses version of Knockin' on Heaven's Door, for example. But here, they serve no purpose and are just plain distracting. And it doesn't help that their singing is only on par with that of Dan A. Gold on the ceiling, I ain't mine, just a matter of time. But I will admit that pre-chorus was pretty catchy. They wanna get mine. Even when Dan A's voice and his fuzzy guitar get in the way. I mean, it's not quite up there with the many great licks and riffs of rock and roll history, but it comes pretty close. And the drumming? Well, I guess it works here. I don't know about anywhere else in the song, but at least this part is worth drumming along to. Believe me, I know. I play drums, and I played that drum part before. And then there's the beginning and ending to Gold on the Ceiling. Like the pre-chorus, I really enjoyed the intro to Gold on the Ceiling. Until it got to the synthesizer part, then the song kind of lost me. But then, what do we have? The ending! Which is basically the same as the intro. Whatever, it's still better than what we heard 3 minutes before. Hell, why not just make that the entire song? Just have the intro, the pre-chorus, and the outro. That would have been a way better song. But no, you had to have Dan A's vocals, and the female backup singers, and the fuzzy guitar, and synthesizer. Sorry about that. I don't hate Gold on the Ceiling. I mean, it's got a few good moments here and there, but I just don't really like it all that much. I want to like it, but there's just not enough substance for me to be fully invested in it. And as I've said before, I know the Black Keys are trying to sound like classic rock, but they rarely ever succeed, especially here. I mean, you can't always just write a bunch of crap and then record it the old-fashioned way and expect that to be called classic rock. There should be more to it than that. But as is, whenever I listen to this song, I'm always aware that I'm listening to a 21st century song disguised as a classic rock track. That being said, if you like this song, great! I have no problem with that. And of course, it does do an okay job of fooling the listener. Unlike this song, for example.
So 1, 2, 3, take my hand and come with me because you look so fine that I really want to make you mine.
I'm gonna give this one an epic... average.
Epic. Average.
I'm the fantastic Mr. S, and you're watching Dangerously Rockin' Reviews!